So Han Kuo-yu has officially been nominated as the KMT's presidential candidate, and of course, following his formal nomination, Han vowed to improve the island's economy and create what he called peaceful cross-strait relations. He also touted a previous statement about making people rich.
So no change from the way he campaigned as a mayoral candidate for Kaohsiung last year. Very similar message, focus on people's livelihood. He tends to use the words wealth and make them rich. And a very traditional KMT approach to cross-strait relations. So no matter how it gets spun in the media or by critics, ultimately he's probably looking for something very similar to what Ma Ying-jeou's cross-strait policy was. And that really shouldn't surprise any of us.
And of course, he also described next year's election as the life and death of the Republic of China and Taiwan's next generation.
Well, those of us who've watched Taiwan elections for a number of years now know that in every election, there's always a party or a candidate that's saying, this is the most important election of your life. Taiwan's survival depends on the result of this election. So you have to vote, and you have to vote for us. So we'll hear that message from all candidates. If Kuo-yu or Guo Taiming run as unaffiliated candidates, they'll probably have some variation on that message as well. So again, another long-running theme in Taiwan elections. But maybe we should be a little bit more optimistic and take the view that no matter who wins the presidential election in January, Taiwan will survive.
And of course, the KMT National Congress also approved a revision to the party charter that separates the positions of the president and the party chairperson.
This one was a bit controversial. Obviously, it's a way for Wu Duanyi, the current chairman, to maintain his role as chairman, even if Han Kuo-yu wins the presidency. And that's good for him personally. He was a non-entity as a presidential candidate. There were some polls that showed he had meager support. So very quickly, he said, I'm not going to be running for president. And that was obviously the right decision for him from a political career perspective. But he wants to be relevant. He wants to maintain some significant role, and being chairman would fulfill that. There was also some interesting news reports in the last few days saying that maybe he should run on the party list for non-constituency seats in the Legislative Yuan. That would certainly be very interesting, especially if he was still party chairman as well. In some ways, it might be good for unifying what party headquarters message is along with what the Legislative Caucus message is. So that's something to watch as well. Then there was also some controversy over extending the tenure of the Central Executive Committee members. It's going to now be extended past the election, which again probably makes sense rather than have a new vote for those key decision makers, which was originally scheduled for October. And there's some controversy over how to nominate the candidates for the non-constituency legislative UN seats. And very interesting, Gavin, this kind of emanates out from the vote for the marriage equality referendums last year, where some KMT non-constituency members of the Legislative Yuan were actually supportive, and there's still people in the grassroots who want them eliminated from the party list.